Hi, STEAM Club friends, it's Miss Kathy. I hope you have some Halloween candy left because this week we're going to do experiments with candy. Are you ready for some fun? For our first experiment, you're going to need a glass of water, some candy, and a tally sheet, which we'll put in the comments. We are going to do a simple experiment with density. Remember density? It's how compact the molecules are in a substance, and it determines whether a substance is heavy or light, whether it will float or sink. In this experiment, we are going to see if our candy will float or sink. So pick out some candies, and you can either write the name of the candy on your sheet, or you can just lay the candy out on the sheet. All right, so there's two columns on your sheet. The first one says prediction. That means your guess. Do you guess whether your candy will float or sink? If you think it will float, take a pen or a pencil or a marker and put an X near the top of the glass on your sheet. If you think the candy will sink, put it on the bottom of the glass. All right? And then you're going to test your hypothesis or your guess. All right? So my first candy is a Kit Kat. So I guess that the Kit Kat will float. All right, so let's open it up. And I'm just going to break it in half so it fits in my cup better. Let's see what happens. Oh, the Kit Kat did float, so my prediction was correct. All right, and now I can eat it. All right, my next candy is a Snickers. And I don't know, I think a Snickers with all those peanuts in it is kind of heavy. So I'm going to predict that the Snickers will sink to the bottom. Are we ready? Oh, I was right, the Snickers did sink to the bottom. All right, so do that with all your candies. You can try all different kinds of candies, whatever you've got. It doesn't have to be chocolate. I've got a Charleston Chew, I've got a Laffy Taffy, I've got some lemon heads. Anything you've got will work. See if your predictions are correct. Why do you think some candies floated and some sunk to the bottom? What was it that made the difference? Try different liquids. Try whether the water is warm or cold. Does that make a difference? Next, we're going to do a fun color experiment using Skittles. Or if you don't have Skittles, you could try M&Ms or Jolly Ranchers, any kind of colored candy. What you're going to do is you're going to open the Skittles. You're going to arrange them on your plate, preferably a white plate because then you can see the colors better, but use what you've got. All right, arrange them in a circle on your plate. You can make a pattern or you could just let them randomly be arranged on your plate. And then you're going to pour a little bit, not too much, of water on the plate. And you can experiment. Warm water, cold water, does it make a difference? And then after a few minutes, you are going to see a really cool rainbow on your plate. Can you see it? I moved the plate so the colors are starting to get a little mixed up. But the colors will all diffuse into the water and make a really pretty pattern. All right? Like I said, try warm water, cold water, try different kinds of candies. Does that make a difference? All right? Have some fun. Our next experiment uses a traditional fall favorite candy, candy corn. We are going to test the candy corn in 4 different liquids to see what happens. You might want to get a piece of paper and you can record your observations. I've got a glass with some milk. I've got some water. I've got some cooking oil. And I have some vinegar. First, what's going to happen? Are they going to sink or are they going to float? I don't know. Let's find out. So I'm just going to use 2 pieces in each cup. Plop right to the bottom. To the bottom. Whoops, took a little longer, but it got to the bottom. And the vinegar. All right, and then it's going to take a little bit of time for you to observe the changes. So you might want to take a break, go read a book, come back in, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, see what happens. Do the different liquids make a difference? Right? Could the temperature of the liquid make a difference? Maybe you have some other liquids in your house that you could try. Right? So come back in a few minutes and we'll see what changes have happened to our candy corn. In the meantime, we can do another quick experiment with candy corn, and this one will need some adult help. You're going to put a few pieces of candy corn on a plate or in a bowl, pop it in the microwave for about 30 seconds to a minute, and see what happens. Are we ready to try? So it's been about 10 minutes since we started the candy corn experiment, and I've got some interesting results. The milk, of course, you can't see what's happened, but in the water, the candy corn has turned kind of a white color, and there's little, looks like a coating on the candy corn, and little bits of it are floating on the top, sort of a waxy look. Not much happened in the oil that I can see, and in the vinegar one, I've got a streaky thing going on, and again, like in the water, I've got little waxy bits peeling away from the candy corn itself. So I'm going to take it out and let's observe it. So there is, you can see, kind of a little waxy thing sticking to my spoon. And then the oil looks pretty unchanged. And in the water, definitely got a waxy look on the top. And then what happened in the milk? Kind of like the oil. Not much happened. I do see a little waxiness, but not like in the water or in the vinegar. The vinegar water changed color. It's a little bit orange. Nothing happened to the oil. And the water mixture did change color too, and the milk pretty much stayed the same color. And then with my pop them in the microwave experiment, I put 3 pieces on a plate, and this is what I got. What'd you get? Our next activity is an engineering challenge. You're going to need some dots, or gumdrops, or gummies, something squishy like that, and some toothpicks. And you're just going to take your candies, and you're going to stick a toothpick in it, and stick another toothpick in it, and then add another gummy, and you're going to see what you can build. Right? Use your imagination, be creative, and how tall can you go before it gets wobbly? How wide can you make it? It all depends on how many gummies you have. Use what you have, and have some creative engineering fun. Our last experiment today uses gummy bears. Yum. You are going to start with 2 bowls or flat dishes, some gummy bears, and some water. So in one bowl, I have a salt water solution. Remember when we made salt water solution back a couple weeks ago? You pour salt into a cup of water, and you keep stirring and you keep adding salt until no more salt will dissolve. That's what you need to do here. So you make a small saltwater solution. You're not going to need a lot of salt. Maybe half a cup, even a quarter cup might do, depending on the size of your bowl. And the other bowl is plain water. And then I left a couple gummy bears as a control, so we can compare the original gummy bear to the different solutions. So I put a gummy bear in each bowl, salt water in one, plain water in the other, and then you let them sit. The longer you let it sit, the more dramatic the results are going to be. You could wait a couple hours. You could even let it soak overnight. Mine aren't going to be a really dramatic difference because I didn't let them soak that long. But let's take a look anyway. So this is the plain water solution. All right. So you can see that the one that was soaked in the plain water is definitely a little wider, a little chubbier than the original bear, maybe even a little taller. And then in the saltwater solution, what have we got? Definitely looks bigger and puffier than the original bear. Not really taller, but definitely wider. All right. Like I said, the longer you let it sit, the more dramatic your results are going to be. So soak some gummy bears and have some fun. See you next time.